One of my favorite videos to make each and every week is when I tell you what I've purchased for the week. Now the thing about sustainable living and prepping, we try not to buy a lot. We try to grow as much as we can. We try to do without on some things so we wouldn't have to buy them, and we wait for a little bit to say, okay, is it a want or is it truly a need? Because sometimes we can get in the habit of just buying stuff and really having no purpose for it. Well, this week, I guess with all the news that's going on, it was just dealing with the cyber attack issues and a little bit more volatility with our, the grid and things like that. So it made me think, okay, what are 5 good investments for the week that some of these I actually already have? I just bought a little deeper into Stockpile to make sure, hey, I have not only one, I have 2. Redundancy, we talked about that. Between the movie that we watched dealing with, the cyber attack, and then all of a sudden the cyber attack stuff with China, it makes you think, well, this really could happen. Now, am I saying China's the one doing it? I really don't believe anything anymore. Most of the time when I listen to news, I'm just saying, no matter what the situation is, no matter who may be the one that doesn't like us, ultimately we have to be prepared anyways. So 5 things I bought this week. I think you should be looking at these and putting them on the wish list. So you know what, this would be good investments as we maneuver to the end of the year, but also as we go into 2024. Let's jump into it. Today's video starts right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so much for being here today. If you're new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, that's okay, but let us know what you think about this content. When you give us a thumbs up, it means the world to us because it tells YouTube that you're liking our content and you want to share it. So if you can, please share this video. Also with a thumbs up, again, it helps us stay in the algorithm, and that means the world to me, especially after we've been held down a little bit the last few weeks. But we want to keep giving you hopefully good information that helps you be wise and make good common sense approaches to how you raise your family in this volatility that we're in right now. So this last week we talked a lot about cyber attacks and the grid issues, and it's getting cold outside, just a lot going on really with energy and the way we live our lives. So what did we buy? Number 1, we bought another weather radio. Now we bought a shortwave hand crank weather radio and emergency broadcast network radio. Now what is this good for? For instance, I have a hand crank radio. If I had that for AM, FM, and just being able to listen to anything and everything that comes across. You can charge it up by battery or by wall charger, or you can hand crank it. Well, I've kind of bought the step up from that. It gives me a little bit better opportunity to hear what's going on in the world if something were to go wrong. We talk about living off of the information we get. We're in the information and technological world. If all of a sudden we hit a solar flare happens, EMP happens, we have something like a cyber attack. Sometimes if we don't know what's going on, that could be very detrimental to us. Now, we have a weather radio. We have other forms of communication, but it's always good to be redundant. So again, we bought another weather radio. This is an Odyssey weather radio. It's a shortwave emergency broadcast radio that we can use as a hand crank. It can charge by solar. It can charge by wall charger. I think it's just good to have that redundancy. This is a great investment for you. If you don't have one of these, what if all of a sudden you lose power? All of a sudden you want to know what's going on. You can be able to pick up certain things that you may not can on your phone, may not can on a radio that you have plugged in. So this will be a good investment for you this week. Number 2, now I'm not gonna lie, this was a bigger expense, and I've been wanting one of these for a long time, and I've never had one. I've had versions of them, but I've never truly had this. So this week I bought a satellite phone. Well, they're gonna set you back $800 to $1,000. Now there's smaller versions of it. There's also little versions that you can text back and forth, but I wanted a true sat phone. So I bought a sat phone with minutes built in to where I had it just in case I needed to get with communications to other people that have sat phones and that have preparedness a very big part of their life. This is a pretty good investment here. But I bought the Blue Cosmo satellite phone and kit. I will link it below also. I think this is just a good investment. It's one of those things that I hope I never have to use. But when sometimes we don't have cell phone service and when we're on trips or all of a sudden something goes wrong, like the other day, for instance, my job, they were doing some work on the lines. There was an issue with the fiber coming into the building, and all of a sudden all voice over IP phones and cell phones were dead. Now, does that mean that they were dead for a long time? No, but there's times where if I had the capabilities to have the sat phone and be able to utilize it in a situation that might not be as good, this would be great to have. Now, say you can't afford a sat phone right now because it's kind of expensive and, you know, it's Christmas time. Have you thought about having a two-way texter? They make these little text machines where you can send text to each other via satellite capabilities, not using just a regular old cell phone towers or 5G network. So think about that. Have you thought about having low frequency or a different frequency CB radios? Have you thought about a ham radio? Have you thought about any of those things? Sometimes we may not can invest in the top things, and I didn't buy the highest end version of a satellite phone, but I bought a good satellite phone that had good ratings to hopefully never have to use it, but to know I've got it just in case. This is a good investment that I've been saving up for a while, because to be honest with you, I just didn't feel comfortable not having another form of communication. I have a CB, I have a style radio that can really go miles and miles. We've tried it, it's been great. But now this gets me to the next step, satellite phone. Number 3, I bought a new a set of Bushcraft tools. Now, the reason I bought this, I have these already, but we wanted a secondary set to put in our bug out supplies. And also, I told the kids we're going to really try to camp a little bit more this year and do a little bit more protocols and have fun in the woods, but also teach my kids a little bit more skills in the woods. I think this is a great, fun adventure for your children, but also it's teaching them life skills that they would need. So I bought a new Bushcraft knife, a new Bushcraft travel and tactical shovel, and also a new hatchet. All those things, we have several of them, we already own them, but now we have, again, 6 kids, so it allows us, when we go into the woods, we have a little bit more of a teachable moment with a lot of them to be able to be more hands-on. A lot of these things you can pick up for pretty cheap. Now, don't buy the cheapest version, don't buy some kind of, Chinese-made version of them. Try to find an American company that you can buy these from. I'll link some of the ones that I've bought before below, but I think these are good investments. When I say Bushcraft tools, really what I'm saying is you can use them and they're a little bit more durable. For instance, a Bushcraft knife tends to be a thicker blade knife where you can utilize it to, maybe break branches and cut trees, and sometimes they're serrated on one side, slick on the other. It's a little bit more of a tactical knife. So there's benefits to having a pocket knife, but then there's benefits to having something like a Bushcraft knife or a tactical knife. This would be another good purchase for someone in your family, even for Christmas. They're quick, easy, not really expensive. You can spend the world on them, but there's some that's highly rated, American-made companies that make these things that will help you build skills to how to start a fire, how to cut wood for it, and how to use some of these things in the woods to build skills for survival. It's good to teach your children and have fun doing it, because when it becomes a serious issue, you don't want to not know how to use and live in certain areas of the woods or on certain areas of your land. Number 4, I made a gold and silver purchase this week. Now, that is a monster purchase, and I'm not trying to convince you to spend thousands of dollars on gold and silver. What I'm trying to say is this. I decided to see gold prices is shooting up. I've told you this. We've done tons of videos on this. We see it is going up. With the fact of them starting to lower interest rates and the market saying, okay, we're glad of that. That's scary to me, because remember, when we started lowering interest rates at the fact that they were not stopping spending, people kept buying even with higher rates of inflation. Therefore, we are setting ourselves up for more attacks and more problems with the middle class and the dangers of holding wealth and money. I believe the stock market's going to go up to a point, but I believe actually you're going to see more of a reverse market crash or a melt up, because you're going to start seeing more problems with the middle class not being able to keep their money because they're having to use so much debt. It's just so many problems there. So for me, I was thinking, again, I don't want so much money sitting in the stock market account. I don't want so much money just sitting at my bank. So I just said, you know what? I'm going to take some of those funds that I've been maybe stockpiling or saving. I'm going to invest them back into gold and silver. This was a purchase I did this week. This is not really saying I'm buying or using a lot of my money. I'm just turning one asset into another asset, because I believe this will benefit me more in the long run versus cash or savings or money in the stock market. So I bought a little bit more gold and silver this week. Silver is still holding value. It needs to go up tremendously. Gold is going up, so if you can buy now, it's great. That way you can just set yourself up to have a little bit more wealth building assets that have value, and it's the most important currency, especially with everybody's currency being so manipulated now worldwide. Again, most countries are buying gold right now because they know the value of it really never goes down, and it's always worth something. And number 5, we bought some fishing gear. Now, here's what I bought. We found an old junky John boat that someone was wanting to get rid of. A little 14-foot paddle John boat. Now, we call them John boats here. Basically, it's just a cheap old aluminum boat. Rusty, kind of beat up, kind of bent in, like 4 different colors. But you know what? Not only are we going to have fun with it, we already have one. Not only are we going to have fun with it, we're going to build those skills of fishing more. And we're able to fish in areas that we may not can fish off the bank. Not only here in our little pond, but also to be able to take to other places that we fish. It gives us time together as a family, but again, it's teaching them skills. Kind of like the bushcraft skills we talked about a while ago. A lot of things that we do, you can have teachable moments with your children or with your spouse or with whomever you're wanting to teach and make it fun, all the while you're teaching them skills that could save their life. Think about that for a second. If you can have fun building memories, at the same time be preparing and having a preparedness mentality to where you're teaching those skills that can bring value to your family, you're doing some great things. Now, I'm not saying don't go out there and play baseball, play basketball, or whatever you like to do. But what I'm saying is take it up a notch. Even for 2024, tell yourself you're going to do more when it comes to spending time with your family, of course, but taking it to the next level and teach those life skills that can make a difference. Does your kid know how to, skin a fish? Does your kid know how to clean a fish? Does your kids know how to bait a hook? Do your kids know what a perch is to a bass? Those are very important things to know and know how to fish for them, because if they had to rely on that skill to feed their family, can they do it? People can always give you food, but if you know how to grow your own food or gather your own food, it's a game changer, and now you are more independent and more self-sufficient. All right, that's the 5 for the week. A lot of that was impacted by some of the things that kind of happened this week with the cyber attack, and also I keep bringing back the fact of this movie. I just can't get over the fact that a former president wrote a movie, dystopian-wise, about a cyber attack. So it just kind of made me think this week, okay, let's take it to the next level on some of these options like the satellite phone. Guys, let me know what you think about this list. Are you adding anything to your stockpile this week? Let me know in the comments below. Again, thank you so much for watching. God bless. Happy homesteading, y'all.